Greetings, Valley Byliners, and welcome to any new guests. We want to thank Eva Beliki in the Harlingen Public Library and all of you for attending. And I hope that we have wonderful posts to share, and I hope that we have great responses and that you will enjoy it as much as we did writing them. So welcome, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
So we'll start. This is Valley Byliners Poetry Night, August 20th, 2020, 6 to 6:45, and it's hosted by, again, Valley Byliners and Harlingen Public Library. We have our poets here, and we're going to go on to our first poet, to Mr. Frank Cortazo, and let me tell you a little bit about him. Frank Cortazo is a past president of the Valley Byliners. He's an avid writer, an author, and a poet, and he usually wins our writing challenge. So if anybody wants to, you're invited to come and challenge him to a writing challenge. So welcome, Frank.
Thank you. Okay, I couldn't make up my mind this time which one to go with, and I decided on this one. It's from a photograph I saw on Facebook. It was not a writing prompt, but just a regular photograph somebody posted. So it's about a waterfall, and it goes, a waterfall is splashing across some forest walls to stir the breeze of tall green trees with its enticing calls. Its currents pounce like thunder from that warm springtime sky, with force to tear, with tranquil air, the silence to defy. A path those currents follow to where one does not know, lost to become when reaching some unknown place far below. Though turbulent those currents are, to that stillness there, a calmness they, a peace display, a treasure vast to bear. A waterfall is splashing across those forest walls. For all to hear, it's loud and clear, yet calm and passion calls. Thank you.
Yes.
Good job. Hi, Anthony. So that was a waterfall by Frank Cortazo. Coming up, we're welcoming Anthony for joining us just now, and coming up is Mr. James Arnold. Mr. James Arnold is the author of The Trust. He's a poet and the current president of the Valley Byliners nonprofit writers organization. Take it away, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The poem is called Plowing. Hitching the mules early each day to get his plowing underway. He knows that in the midday sun, them stubborn critters ain't much fun. With strength of purpose and hand on rein, he plows and breaks the sod again. For furrow straight, he sights a post and guides the plow where'er it goes. And as the sun climbs hotter and hotter, his mules get thirsty and balk for water, till they drink and get their fill. He knows that plow is lying still. And at the end of day, with aching back, he puts his tack upon the rack and limps to bed to get his rest. A goodly man has passed life's test.
Takes me back to stories Grandma used to tell.
I was speaking to a patient this morning, and the poem reminds me of my grandfather telling me that when he was much younger and lived in Mexico, he tended to about 400 sheep. And they had to sleep outside with the sheep in those days, right? Because they were afraid that somebody would steal them, or the coyotes would get them, or you know, just all that that sort of stuff. So he always slept amongst the farm animals. And then he said, and if it was gonna rain, they'd get a tarp and they'd stretch it out between the trees and sleep under that, you know. And that's what that poem reminds me of, because I was talking to a patient of mine this morning, and I told him that exact same story actually, and I said, and here I am with a number select bed, and I still woke up saying, "Oh man, you know, my back is a little stiff this morning." It's so funny because I got this specialized bed, and this just reminded me of telling the story in the morning of my grandfather probably using a rock for a pillow, you know, and watching these animals go up and down and plow in the fields and stuff while he had to watch them so they wouldn't leave or get stolen or getting eaten by coyotes. So great stuff.
Thank you.
It sure is. Reminds me of Grandma. She used to plow the fields because my grandfather was paralyzed from a stroke, and so this reminds me of that. Great poem. Thank you so much for sharing, James. We're going to go on to the next one, and please bear with me because I'm going to try a little bit of inflection on this one. It's called Inanimate Conversation. So this is a conversation between the appliances and the clothesline. Stop your flaunting, said the LG front load washer to the clothesline. Airing out your dirty laundry for all to see. No shame. I can't look at another underwear again. But alas, she was facing the window, thus facing the clothesline. Clothesline interrupted. Well, turn around, why don't you? By the way, LG, didn't the repairman come out this week to fix your parts? Keep it together, girl. We've got work to do. I always keep it together. Linen, underwear, t-shirts, jeans, dark clothes, light clothes. Not that kind of together. Get a grip. Keep your parts together. Hush up, all of you, sneered the dishwasher, breaking up after every word as painful, searing, piercing shots of jet spray shot at her insides in all directions. And we don't need to see all your clothes, clothesline. Have some dignity and shame. Clothes on the clothesline snapped. Well, there you both are, opening your drawers for all to see, spitting, hissing, clunking for all to hear. Keep it together. I don't require maintenance and I'm always ready to serve. Fridge snubbed his nose at everyone by not saying a word. Only the low humming of his motor reminded everyone that he was there, constantly opening not one drawer, but two. The horror. LG spun faster and faster to drown out the noise. Dishwasher clanked and clunked in return. Fridge decided to hum louder, just to drown them out. Suddenly, there was a loud crackle that slammed the blind down hard. And just like that, a power failure shut everyone down. The clothesline continued to sway all her clothes in the breeze outside, smug as a bug in a rug. And that's Inanimate Conversation.
There was the thing about that was absolutely beautiful and very telling and very smelling is that it reminds me of the ways that we tend to get on our cell phones and insult each other, and the danger that we have of making the United States the untied states. So it's a thing about acceptance and mixing things up and not looking for the flaws in others, but looking for the good. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I'm thinking about the fact that we are so hooked up on electricity and technology, and we have to have that background knowledge to be able to go on. What I'm thinking. So that was Inanimate Conversations. We're going to go on to Mr. James Arnold with, I believe, the next one. He's going to have to say this title.
Okay.
So take it away, Arnold.
Have you got that crazy picture?
I do. It's cute.
The alliterative. Every day we send an alliterative thing to Rose based upon the day of the week. And so this one is actually a poem based on alliteration. So, here person's pondering, what's that? perfect poetry poems. What's huh?
Tell
Tell tidy tales,
a tattling,
a tattling,
trivia's tortuous tomes,
trivia's tortuous tone, where
wanderer,
wanderer and wondering,
parrots,
huh?
heavenly homes,
Their
parrots, heavenly homes,
merits heavenly homes,
so soon
so soon saintly singing,
rarely raging roams.
rarely raging Rome. I couldn't read that one quite as well, but that thing's built on alliterations. And alliteration is a technique that's a lot of fun.
Children in kindergarten are taught alliteration because of the initial sounds and final sounds and just different methods to teach them that, especially that initial consonant sound. So I'm familiar with alliteration and they love it. They love alliteration.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's something to
wonderful.
play with.
It's got a lot of fun sounds in it. I like the pop of the P's and it's got a really great tone to it.
Yeah, it's not perfectly puny, just punitive or punitive.
You're fantastically forgiven.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed it. Oh, I needed it.
What a
Ongoing
fun way
onwards.
to use our language. It's a great way that you're using your language to make it fun. I'm trying to read it too and say, okay, here it is. Great job, everybody.
Yes.
So that was the alliterative. There you go. So we have another form. We're gonna go. What is it? Ongoing onward to Miss Rose Rybacek, but she's not here. So she did say that we could read her poem if we wanted to. So any volunteers to read it?
Joy?
I can see it well enough to read it.
Yay, Joy.
And thank you, Rose, for allowing me to read your poem. The Little Bunny by Rose Rybacek. I'm a little bunny hopping down the street. I have long ears and very big feet. I pause in my ramble to watch a cop as he scans the street, then enters a shop. I stand erect and look around. I feel vibrations and shake the ground. I tremble with fear. What is that noise? It's the running feet of two wee boys. I drop to the ground and try to hide. They race past me, ever breaking stride. They pause by the door of a bakery shop. Wasn't that the one that entered? The cop? They pull out sticks from under each shirt and smash the window. It lies in the dirt. Out of the door, the cop comes a-tearing. The boys stand in fear, their eyeballs a-staring. He grabs their sticks and throws them away, then grabs the boys, and I hear him say, "You're caught in the act of smashing this window. You'll pay for the damage, or my name's not Jimbo." I sneak out of hiding and enjoy a real treat as he escorts the boys away down the street. Peace reigns again, and I think it's so neat that we have such a cop walking his beat.
Wonderful.
I wonder if she realized that she has her first children's book there.
Aww.
Yes, it is so wonderful. Just, woo, Rose. That was wonderful.
It was nice. So now, dun, 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 we have the last person, last but not least, Mr. Anthony Ripp, and I thought I was sweating bullets because I thought we might have to read his stuff, and I could not do justice to this. So I'm looking forward to this.
Well, when I thought I was gonna have to work late and I almost did, but I got out of it at the last second. I said, I better not get any. I had some other stuff planned, but it was like kind of tongue twister and stuff. I said, no, I better toss something out there. But this is a great one because I've never read this anywhere. And it's a super short but really fun poem that I wrote about everyone in their lifetime, I think, for the most part, has had that one person that maybe they met, and a lot of relationships end before they start by saying, well, maybe in the next lifetime, we just met at the wrong time, that sort of thing, right? And that kind of was spinning in my head for a long time, and I decided to write something about it because I thought, well, how are we gonna know when we get to the other life? Where are we gonna be at? So this is a poem that I wrote called The Other Side. Instructions on how to find me in the next life are as follows. Step 1, from where you're standing, walk 50 paces to the east and take a left turn at the crooked spine of the dirt road. 2, notice every baby's breath and cherry blossom on the path. I want to hear all about them when you find me. Smell, texture, color, everything. 3, there will be a tree too big to be anything other than a miracle. Turn right in the direction of the sound of flowing water when you get there. 4, inhale and clear your mind. 5, tell your heart it's okay to let go. 6, put on your prettiest smile and pick up the pace. 7, you will pass a rock in the shape of a heart. Keep straight. 8, continue inching closer in my direction. 9, I will be 6 years old when you see me. 10, I'll be standing at a creek, my feet in water. I promise to remember you.
Wonderful.
Wow.
So that's my instructions on how to find me in the next life. Whoever has said, maybe in the next life.
Yeah.
I love it, Anthony.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's really childish and simple, but I thought that was the beauty of it, man. It was fantastic.
Mhm. It was beautiful, Anthony.
Like we kind of agree on which direction we're going because we end up with something that's along the same themes. And now it looks like it's children's or a little more childish, younger poems. I'm looking for one right now to see if I can share it. But we have another. We did want to share. James and Joy want to share the next slide with you. Thank you, Anthony. That was awesome. Okay, so this one, James and Joy, we're going to talk about someone they met. Mr. John Ellis.
Well, John and Rose knows him too because the prayer that I did is a poem, the thanks prayer Rose put out, and John was, well, he still is probably a professional photographer, a very good one, and he's got some brothers that they're in photography too, but he liked the poem, the thanks poem, and he sent these poems to share with us for however you want to use them decently. And he loves nature. And I've been trying to get a sunset because where he's at, the trees are so high that he doesn't get a chance at a sunset with trees. And he's also part of Rose's ham group too. So he is such a wonderful treasure and has such a wonderful heart that these are some of the pictures that he sent to us. And I just want to send him back something as good, but he's exceptional. He's an exceptional photographer. So he's a very nice man. And I think, huh?
He asked that he let us know that he did not have a website yet, but we could use his pictures, his photographs, any way we would want to.
Yes. Uh, and just such a big-hearted man. I can't say enough nice about him. So that's a treasure that our poetry night has brought forward. And I'm so proud of your work with it, Anna and Eva. It's just, this is a treasure.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Yes. All right, we have about 6 minutes, Anna. We have 6 minutes into the video to finish it up.
Can you go back to Anthony's slide because we didn't quite read his bio at all, and so why don't you read that? Go back to Anthony's. Just going to do it formally. So Mr. Anthony Rip is a local storyteller who writes his best material on the open road or sitting in the middle of an ocean in the remote part of the world. He takes his inspiration from real life events and enjoys featuring the beauty that is attached to the rusty side of life. So I want to know how often you get to go out to a remote part of the world.
Well, as often as I get a chance, of course, with the pandemic, there's no doing that. But the last time I was sitting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean was a little over 2 years ago out in Iceland. And yeah, and that just, if you've never been to Iceland, go and expect a life-changing experience. That place just changes your life. So I get a lot of my material, on the road for my travels and just, and just a lot of meditation, a lot of alone time, a lot of sunsets. Yesterday I went out in the middle of nowhere and stood out there in the middle of the street with no cars around and watched the sun come down. That's where I get my inspiration from. Yeah.
And basically taking time to enjoy the world around you.
Right. Yeah. I've always said that I never write to make a point. I write to make somebody feel something. I want you to feel like you're sitting right next to me and looking at exactly what I'm looking at when I write.
Amen.
And I want to make you cry. I think that having human emotions, especially as far as this world goes today, is a luxury that people don't visit very often. And I like going for the gut punch because I like emotions.
For sure. For sure. Can I share one more for the sake, because we have time? I have one that I don't think I'll read anywhere else, but we had some more younger poems. So I think I can add this one. I didn't put it on the slideshow. I was just looking at it earlier. It's called Mommy Should Be Proud of Me. Mommy will be proud of me. I put on my own shirt and pants. This is how I did it, see? First, I found a shirt that I really liked. I stuck my arms into the sleeves. I put it up over my head and pulled down tight. No one had to help me. Next, I found some pants. I put both legs inside. I lay down on the floor and pulled them on with all my might. Then I did all the buttons on my shirt and pants. I pulled up the zipper and fixed the belt. I don't know why my mommy and daddy looked so scared. I did it all by myself, the shirt, the pants, the buttons, the zipper, and the belt. The only thing I forgot was my underwear. No one can tell that I forgot my underwear. So that was, Mommy should be proud of me. Things little kids do.
Yep.
Does anyone have another one to share?
I've got one that I was gonna read, and it goes right along with yours if there's time. It's a short one. It's called "Be Good to Your Daughters." Since I don't have any kids, I often wondered at one time, what would it be like if I did have a kid? And I would love to have a daughter because I would love to teach her how to work on old muscle cars. And that's the reason why I want a daughter, so I can put her under the car and have her work on a transmission with me. So be good to your daughters. I wonder what the skin of mine would look like draped over another set of bones. I wonder if she'll be beautiful. I wonder what her eyes would look like while I hover over her with my old guitar and sing, Mary had a little lamb, but baby Janice, now Janice, she could sing. And I wonder if she would smile at that. I wonder what her lips would look like curled up at the ends, uneven but trying, while I whisper, baby, beauty means never being perfect. And I hope that no one ever tells her otherwise. I tell her, tell me what you dream of while you sleep. Are there purple unicorns, yellow dinosaurs, bathtubs filled up past the brim? Are there little mermaids, tiny teacups, or treasure maps to places that I have never seen? I tell her, tell me what you hear when you're alone. Tell me what you hear. Tell me that you hear angels in that garbled language that you speak, that you hear me tiptoe across the room when I think that you're asleep. Tell me that your tiny ears hear things that I wouldn't understand, and I'll just laugh because I wouldn't understand so. Not because I wouldn't understand, but because I couldn't understand. You see, I lost the ability to decipher that sort of tongue many years ago. I want to touch your face. I want to hear you laugh. I want to see your eyes light up when I walk into the room so that I can feel like someone loves me back just for being me, for being a free spirit, for being bright-eyed and tattooed, for being a music man, for being good to you. Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Oh gosh, you love that little daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It
for not having
was
a daughter, that was
great.
spot on, wasn't it, Nurse?
What's that?
Spot on. For not having a daughter, that was spot on.
Yeah.